time. I made myself look in the direction of the sound. An ex-soldier was coming my way, in his 40s, with a scarred face, leading an enormous Kodiak bear on a very thin leash. The bear wore a harness that read, Sergeant Teddy. The ex-soldier stretched his left arm and twisted as if trying to slide the bones back in place. Another dry crunch, sending a fresh jolt of alarm through me. Probably an old injury. The bear stopped and looked at me. "Be polite," the soldier told him. "Don't worry, he just wants to say hi." "I don't mind." I stepped closer to the bear. The massive beast leaned over to me and smelled my hair. "Can I pet him?" The soldier looked at Sergeant Teddy. The bear made a low, short noise. "He says you can." I reached over and carefully petted the big, shaggy neck. "What's his story?" "Someone thought it would be a good idea to make very smart magic bears and use them in combat," the ex-soldier said. "Problem is, once you make someone smart, they become self-aware and call you on your bullshit. Sergeant Teddy is a pacifist. The leash is just for show so people don't freak out. Major bought him a couple of years ago. Major is of the opinion that fighting in a war shouldn't be forced on those who are morally opposed to it, human or bear." "But you're still here," I told the bear. He snorted and looked at me with chocolate brown eyes. "We offered him a very nice private property up in Alaska," the ex-soldier said. "But he doesn't like it. He says it gets bored. He mostly hangs out with us, eats cereal that's bad for him, and watches cartoons on Saturdays. And movies. He loves The Jungle Book." I waited for the familiar buzz of my magic that told me he was pulling my leg, but none came. Sergeant Teddy rose on his hind legs, blocking out the sun, and put his shaggy front paws around me. My face pressed into his fur. I hugged him back. We stood for a moment, then the Kodiak dropped down and proceeded on his walk, his leash dangling on the ground. I looked at the ex-soldier. "He must have felt you needed a hug," he said. "He stays in HQ most of the time, so you can come and visit him." "I will," I told him. The ex-soldier nodded and followed the bear. I punched my code into the lock. I had been hugged by a giant, super-intelligent pacifist bear. I could do this. I could do anything. I just had to walk in and call for a family meeting. It was almost dinner time anyway. On a Sunday, everyone would be home. I opened the door and walked into the small office space that housed Baylor Investigative Agency. A short hallway, 3 offices on the left, and a break room and conference room on the right. The temptation to hide in my office almost made me stop, but I kept going, through the hallway, to the other door that opened into the roughly 3,000-square-foot space that served as our home. When we sold our house trying to raise money for my father's hospital bills, we moved our family into the warehouse to cut costs. We'd split the floor space into 3 distinct sections: the office, the living space, and, beyond it, past a very tall wall, Grandma Frida's motor pool, where she worked on armored vehicles and mobile artillery for Houston's magical elite. I took off my shoes and marched through the maze of rooms. Garlands hung on the walls. My sisters had been busy decorating. Faint voices came from the kitchen. "Mom? Grandma? Good, this would save me time." I walked past a big Christmas tree set up in the hangout room, stepped into the kitchen, and froze. My mother and grandmother sat at our table. A young woman sat next to my grandmother. She was willowy and beautiful, with a heart-shaped face framed in waves of gorgeous red hair and eyes so gray they looked silver. Ice gripped my spine. Rhonda Charles, Rogan's ex-fiancée, Olivia's daughter. "Do you remember me?" she asked. Her voice was breaking. Her eyes were bloodshot, her face so pale her lips seemed almost white. "You killed my mother." Somehow my